Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Perfect.
That's the thumbnail, because we just saw Deadpool and Wolverine.
I waited a long time for this team up.
By the way, guys, we're going to be here for about 4.5 hours in the parking lot, because that's how many Easter eggs and cameos are in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about every single one of them. We'll
Sure.
just give the highlights. It's late. We have a 3-hour drive home.
Mm-hmm.
You have the same, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I got to wake up at 8 o'clock tomorrow. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's called dedication, okay? But this movie was worth it.
It was.
This was an R-rated love letter back to comic book movies. This was everything it needed to be, and it made me feel like a little boy in the bathtub with my Wolverine doll the very first time I got a boner.
Okay.
And listen,
I got it.
listen.
Yeah.
After my mother walked in and found me, I explained to her why that was. Because it makes me feel something. And when Wolverine in this film, and by the way, this is a spoilers video, you've been warned,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's in the title. If you can't read, it's okay. Wolverine puts on the mask. I have waited. How many movies has he been in? 10, 15?
Countless.
23? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I felt something, and it was so earned. Even in the film, it doesn't happen until the third act.
Yeah.
And a little bit late in the third act.
They make you wait. But it's not one of those, and I was getting a little frustrated in the second act. I'm like, man, the mask isn't on. We know the mask is coming on, but the fact that you get such a payoff when the mask comes on, and I know you said this, John, I completely agree. That's what we were waiting on. Cameo's awesome. Love harking back to Fox. That's great. But Wolverine in the mask, even the moments where he's turning and looking at Deadpool, man, that's all the payoff in the world.
Oh, it was sweet. There is a side-scrolling action shot that looks like the X-Men video game.
It does,
Which,
yeah.
by the way, just nostalgia. That gave me the feels, the emotions, man. It took me back to what comic book movies can be and should be. This movie's nothing but cameos, what-ifs, multiverse, different variations. When they're showing the different versions of Wolverine, you cut to the back of one guy wearing a tank top that's 5 sizes too small, or he's 10 sizes too big, working on a Harley in a barn.
I couldn't believe they did it. I could not believe they got Henry Cavill to play this alternate version. And you know, these movies, they're going to make fans' dreams come true. That's what they do with the multiverse. But to get him, and no one will know that is coming until they see this video, until they see this movie. Man, I thought it was awesome. And I don't know if he's going to be Wolverine in the future. I don't know, but
Listen, if you can't be Superman, be Wolverine. That's my motto.
Perfect,
and
man.
if they could cast him in the upcoming movies, maybe it's just a one-off.
Sure.
Either way,
It was cool.
perfect casting. I can live with it.
Yes, and they even made a joke with one of the versions of Wolverine, how short Wolverine should be. Thought that joke was so funny.
Oh
dude.
shit! Yeah,
It was
4'2"
so funny.
Wolverine just hopping off a stool.
Yes.
He looked like Danny DeVito with claws. Terrifying, nevertheless. What other cameos were there? I don't.
Well, I think the big one. Johnny. Yeah, Chris Evans. Chris Evans, man. Did you think that was going to be Captain America when we saw his shoulders, or?
Well, I didn't want it to be Captain America after looking at him, because the hairdo just wasn't fitting, and he didn't have the toughness of Captain America. I felt like something else was on the horizon there.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it's Johnny Storm from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, flame on, man. And you know, we get a lot of Fox characters in this movie, but to see Chris Evans actually get a chance to go back to I believe what his roots were when he was younger, the comedic timing, the silliness, what Johnny Storm is and always was. I loved him as that character.
A smartass.
A smartass.
Yeah, what's it to you?
Through and through, man.
What are you gonna do about it?
Let's go ahead and talk about the post-credit scene with him in that, man. The post-credit scene is the hardest I laughed during the movie, dude. We finally got that reveal of what he said. It was absolutely hilarious.
Phenomenal. I loved it. Now, the one thing I heard going into this, the one rumor rumbling on Reddit at 3 o'clock in the morning, was you were going to see the final showdown between Hulk and Wolverine. That famous comic book cover.
Yeah.
And you do kind of see a reflection of it for about 1.3 seconds in Wolverine's claws, I believe. And that's it.
That's it. But wouldn't it be cool, though, if we get that down the line? I mean, Hugh Jackman, I think he's in it now.
Yeah.
In it to win it. And so one of those little Marvel special 20 minutes Hulk versus Wolverine, kind of like that animated movie, man. What if they do it?
Can I be honest?
Okay.
I think this is subverting expectations this one time, I think was fair.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there were so many surprises I didn't know I wanted, but after watching them, I needed.
Yeah.
One of those is Channing fucking Tatum who plays Gambit in this film. Now, if you're not a movie nerd, many years ago, he was supposed to be cast as Gambit in another project, never came to fruition.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Channing Tatum?
I couldn't believe they did it, man. And he's had so much dedication, or he did, for this character for years, and it never got made, and things fell through. Well, there were like rumors going around that the dialect was a little off, something was going on. They lean heavily into that. It's played for comedy. It's Deadpool, what do you expect? But no, when I say it's played for comedy, some of the funniest bits in the movie, Channing Tatum, again, his comedic roots, fantastic.
My name is Jeff.
It was so
like
funny.
it's the equivalent of that for 15 minutes. That Louisiana accent.
Oh my god.
This is the funniest Marvel film I've ever seen.
I think it is.
This is my kind of humor. I like dark, seedy humor performed with people in spandex suits that occasionally wear masks. Yeah. I know it sounds like a weird musical you'd only watch in Germany.
Now, I have no clue where the future of the X-Men is going, but if it adapts this tone, we're not talking characters here, we're talking tone, style, comic book goodness, kind of what X-Men 97 was, in a way. If they can do that in live action, I'm going to be happy, but take what they did right here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're afraid to just put people in costumes that look comic book accurate.
Oh, man.
Right?
Oh, my God.
And sometimes maybe it goes a little bit too far. By the way, don't let me forget to talk about Wesley Snipes.
Oh, God.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, my God.
We have time.
Keep going, man. I'll be here all night.
Okay. But the suits, the outfits, the Wolverine jumpsuit, it's yellow, it's blue, he's got the mask, the eyes are white.
Yeah.
You had the secondary characters showing up. I mean, you had another variation of the Juggernaut bitch or whatever. He was sort of as useless in this movie as he was in the previous installments, let's be fair. But what other cameos? There's too many cameos to just know off the top of my head. I'm not IMDb.
Well,
what do we have?
It's so funny because you have Elektra, who made the Ben Affleck joke in the movie, which was hilarious.
What about Daredevil?
And what about Daredevil, which was awesome?
Her ex-husband,
They even play some of the characters that we don't get to see. They mention them in passing. I thought there would be more X-Men characters in this movie.
They're savoring the flavor.
They are.
Yeah.
They are, which I appreciate. But bringing back somebody like Wesley Snipes and then even mentioning the hatred between Reynolds and Snipes via fourth wall break. What do you think of that?
Just glorious. I mean, there's so many inside things that come to fruition in this movie that you would only read on a forum about a movie or the extra bonus features or whatever. Wesley Snipes shows up in this movie and he's looking a little frail. Let's be okay. I love me some Wesley Snipes. You know, I love him. The guy doesn't pay his taxes, but hey, I respect that in a way. But he's back. He's trying to get that money for the IRS.
Yeah, he is, man.
But he has the same sassy attitude. And insert this clip from Blade 3 where Wesley Snipes refused to open his eyes when his character was dead.
Well, and it was funny because even the moments that you're thinking in your head, oh, this is kind of cheesy. Oh, this is very similar to Mad Max. They make the Mad Max joke. So everything you're thinking, they're saying, and you're like, oh, okay, I forgive it because they're making a joke out of it.
As long as you can have some self-awareness and it's done in the right way, I can forgive you. It did look like a very shitty B-rate version of Mad Max for about 25 minutes in this film. Now, very quickly, let's talk about the villain of the film.
Sure.
You have a female Professor Xavier.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess she's probably a variant in one of the 80 renditions of X-Men I never read. I love me some comic book movies. Play with the toys in the bathtub. I didn't read every single comic book. Do you know anything about her character or her backstory?
The story that she tells in the movie is right. Okay. There is a storyline in the comics where she, she's Professor X's sister and something happens to her. Now, she doesn't go off into the void like she does in this movie, but they inevitably meet in the comics. This version, Professor X doesn't know she exists, and so she has that looming over her. This is my space, I feel comfortable in it, but now I can take this very cliche object, the big time-ticking bomb that they have, and I can use it to take over the world. A very villainous cliche plan, but again, they play on that and her role in what she does for Deadpool's character and really Wolverine's character when they unite at the end together and they're both sacrificing themselves after what all they've been through in these movies. I love the pivotal role that she played, and I thought she played it very well. She's very good in the movie.
I thought she was fine.
Yeah, she was good. She was good. She was
No,
very
you
good.
really built that. Did you read the Wikipedia article before coming here?
No, man, I just-
that was a lot of
Yeah,
background information on that character.
I'm a nerd. What can I say?
Oh shit, I love it, man. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. Any other closing final statements about Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, this was. I mean, this was not exactly the craziest story we've ever seen in the MCU. Again, lots of conventions, lots of cliches, but they play on it. They joke about it. It's hilarious. It's fun. It's got cameos galore. But at the end of the day, you're in it for these two characters on screen together, man. And the payoff there was perfect, in my opinion.
This is sort of like a Deadpool and Wolverine movie meets an Avengers movie
Sure.
in the multiverse.
Yeah.
It's really everything that the last 5 movies from the MCU should have been. With some rated R flavor. You know, it might offend some people.
That helps.
But really, it didn't offend me. It made me love Marvel movies again. If they can just carry half of what this film brought tonight, I have hope going forward. I really do.
If they can carry this magic
Yeah.
forward, man, I'm with you. I'm in. Now, I don't know if the movies next year are going to do that because we got to wait for the response. Those are already made.
Sure,
But
sure.
they've already announced the next phase is the mutant phase. Take this magic, Sean Levy, and apply it to the mutant phase, and you're golden for the next 10 years in the MCU.
I completely 100% agree. Are you guys tired of holding the cameras?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll shut the hell up now and get in our cars and go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was awesome. Quite enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, your emotions. Pour them out down below. I want to read that shit. Definitely check out Austin.
Yeah.
Over on his channel. I'll put that link down below. That's a good time. Let's go. Either way, guys, take care and berserker attacks.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!